Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever. This is Roanoke Abyss with ThomasHiatt and Yudi. Yudi as the Seraphim, Thomas the Aeon. First land, of course, for both of them. Second air, transport rush. 10 P-gens is the norm. Thomas going for 9. So, different build orders you can do in this map. Most common is 10 P-gens. ACU builds the 2 factories and the 10 P-gens, doesn't build anything else. First 4 engineers expand. Get 2 mexes each and some reclaim. Most importantly, going for the big chunks of reclaim quickly after the first mech. So maybe Thomas is gonna stall here. I would guess he would stall. Then other build you can do. Oh, and then after the 4 engineers build the mechs and expand, then the other engineers assist the commander and then assist the air factory as it's building the transport. And then after the transport is built, then you upgrade, or you keep building more power after that, and maybe upgrade 1 or even 2 mexes. That's one build order. You can also walk to build mexes with the ACU. Want to be careful you have your power correct though, because it will mean more power cost a bit earlier. You can also expand with just 3 engineers and grab 3 mexes with 2 of them. That can work quite well, instead of using 4 engineers to expand. So we have transport, scout, 3 interceptors, 10 pigeons, 4 expanding engineers, 9 pigeons for Thomas. Not sure if he massed all, I think he might have avoided it, or it was a very small one. And he's assisting his factory, I think, to get more build power out. Yeah, get more engineers, and transport is going to be done probably a bit slower than Yudi. Ah, no, basically the exact same time, maybe slightly faster for Thomas. And he's going to have full capacity transport, only 5 on there for Yudi. He can fit 8. It's one advantage Seraphim has that I think people, I don't know, I think it's difficult to exploit with the transport rushes. The Seraphim can hold 8 T1 units, the rest of them can hold 6, the other T1 transports. So I think you could abuse that, or make good use of it with the transport rush, but you need to make a slightly different build order for the Seraphim then, if you want to actually get 8 units of build power on your transport. Or maybe 6 units of build power and a couple more tanks, maybe. Could be very useful in the early game to give you an advantage when you're fighting over different islands. So they both drop towards the same side. So Thomas sees that this is already dropped. So he was definitely considering here dropping other units across to Yudi's side, but he was scouting there, saw that this was the side Yudi had dropped. If Yudi had dropped this side, I'm pretty sure Thomas would be aiming for this island. Now here, he's actually taking 1 trip, 1 transport, which is unlike what most people do, which is what Yudi is doing here, which is he drops here, comes back, and then picks up more build power, and then drops the other side. So Thomas is actually not really faster. He's actually going to be slower to take this island because he only has 2 engineers here, whereas we have 5 engineers on board here, and they can be split up, and that will allow him to expand faster and be safer on this island. So not sure it's the best decision from Thomas. He could also, there's different ways you could do it. You could build a second transport, which would allow you to expand faster here, and then also use the first transport to grab these islands, or even this island. You can see there's reclaim here to take, so you can continue dropping further on. But the way it is now, I think that was, well, basically pretty even. Overall, other factors I think probably came into play, and Thomas is actually ahead, but he is going to be, this is certainly a disadvantage. You can see the difference in expansion on this third island. Thomas already has two T2 mexes and a third one about done. Yudi in a similar position, maybe slightly behind, but he has pretty nice air build power. He hasn't used his commander to expand at all. ThomasHiatt, similar, I think. Oh no, he is moving to this island to defend it. You can see he moves to the one where he dropped second. This one is more secure, it has more engineers on it, has a couple of factories. This one is not completely taken yet, so he goes there. This island is now his, and we already have frigates moving across to raid all of these mexes. We have some more transport use. Engineer on this island. This is the nicest island to get because it has the reclaim. It's a nice chunk of rocks. And the transport flies over this mex and is spotted. Yudi reacts very quickly, takes it out. The engineers do get dropped. Oh, and there you see the transport take out 3 of them. Bring the other 2 low. Frigates battling it out. And T2 air complete for Thomas, and now he's going T2 Navy, so this is quite fast for T2 Navy, I would say. Doesn't have too much mass. It's just subsisting on reclaim at the minute. See, he did a really good job actually oh no, there's still a few rocks there. Thought he got every single one of them. On the left, we can see a couple islands. Yudi gonna try and nab this one. So these small islands are quite important. These are the real contested ones. And then the other way to get an advantage is, of course, just these frigates killing all of the outer mexes. Aeon frigates actually can kill a couple extra mexes, or it's easier for them to kill mexes, because they have slightly more range than other frigates, just slightly. It's a 1 or 2 range difference. You see here range 28. Oh, maybe it's 32. No, 31. Yes, so slightly more range. So that allows them to hit a couple extra mexes and hit mexes a bit easier. So you can do some pretty decent raiding with Aeon frigates. And that's generally what you want to do, run around these islands, killing T1 mexes over and over and over. If you can get to the main base, then maybe there'd even be T2 mexes to kill, but you can see no upgrades there. Yudi is upgrading the central mexes on his expansions before upgrading the outer mexes on the main island, and we have a pretty relaxed game actually now. I'm not sure why we don't have... Well, you've got to expect more cancerous frigate raiding. Thomas going for Destros. If I was rushing T2 land, or T2 Navy I should say, I would probably go for subs pretty quick. Beauty of subs is that, well, when you're against frigates, obviously they require 0 micro whatsoever. You just click on the frigates and the subs are gonna absolutely destroy them. Leave reclaim. The frigates can't do anything. They have to just suicide towards your base, try and do some damage before they die, or just run away. Which obviously buys you a huge amount of time. And T2 subs are just very strong, and then moving into the T2 naval stage, T2 subs do very well versus Seraphim Destros. So the T2 subs are basically really good versus the frigates and the Destros of, well, especially Seraphim. This T2 drop, look at these. Oh no, the RGs are moving in and there's PD going up. Oh, that is really sad. He had to move in to get away from the frigates. But there's T1 PDs there and all the T2 mechs survived. I like the idea of the drop, but you can see Yudi is ready. He has PDs in position already. And that's really the key there. He also did react and add more PD, but having the initial PD there meant all the shots, when they dropped, went on the PD and not even on the mexes. So without the PD, might have seen a couple of mexes go down, maybe even more. So, you know, it's quite a small investment, just a T1 PD or even 2 or 3 of them. When you have T2 mexes here, it's not a big investment, so good move from Yudi there to be ready. And this Destro should do quite well. Ooh, it's missing. But the Torps, you can see it's in close range, so it's taking some damage, but the torpedoes are doing quite a lot to these frigates. And the Exodus kills every frigate in 2 shots. That is one of the nice things about it. It does 1060 damage, I believe. So it's just enough to kill all frigates in 2 shots. Now we still have no subs, unfortunately. We have 5 Destros though, and only 12 frigs, so we're going very Destro heavy. Generally on Roanoke, you want quite a lot of frigs. Frigs are just a very strong naval unit anyway. At most, really any stage of the game, the frigate is sort of required, or at least useful. Oh, that's a good kill. A Destro gets caught out, gets surrounded. But now we have to see some retreat here, because there's quite a few frigates around for Yudi. But with 3 Destros, if they get into torpedo range, the frigs will die pretty quick. I have some drops here. Look at these arties. Would be nicer to drop engineers, to be fair. Nice use of transports from Thomas. One thing I'm noticing here is that Thomas is not upgrading these mexes, and I'm not sure why. He is upgrading over here. He's upgraded all his base mexes, his storages. Oh, he's going T3 air. Okay then. And he's control K'ing his T1 factories. So he desperately needs the mass, I guess. Oh, this frigate back here could do some nasty damage to T2 mexes. So yeah, generally on Roanoke you want quite a lot of frigs. You want to go frig heavy and then have a couple Destros in there to bombard the shore. But mostly frigates for the meat shield, the damage, and for all the raiding you can do. There's a lot of mexes to kill. So it's a bit of a strange composition, I think, from Thomas. Oh, he's control K'ing more T1 factories. He really wants this mass. He is desperate for T3 air. And what is the plan with T3 air though? Problem with T3 air on this map is that, well, Navy is just more important. Oh, this is a potentially very bad loss. Maybe 2 Destros go down here. One certainly is dead. This one now surrounded by frigates. Not a position you ever like to see your Destros in. And it's losing health rapidly. I think he's going to lose that. And this is very bad. There's no Navy on this side. 5 Destros on the other. Maybe all 3 Destros go down. This one is quite low. But oh, it's allowed to survive. But it's very low on HP, and this one also. And now we see Zuis from Yudi mix into the Navy. And Yudi's economy looking pretty nice. Many T2 mexes, no T3 mex yet. Doesn't quite have full storage. And we have subs from ThomasHiatt as well. So now we have very different naval composition And these Zooies could be devastating versus, I mean, we have Destros. If we look at the number of frigates, we only have 6 frigates, and frigates are what's needed to kill these Zooies. Oh, good damage being done here. T2 Mex goes down, and storage. Another T2 Mex will probably go down. He needs to retreat now. Oh, the T2 Mex has not been hit. It's just the storage has gone down. That's unfortunate. And we have torpedoes overhead. One Destro goes down, another one taking a lot of fire. This frigate is a bit lost. And I think with the torpedoes, this Destro will likely die. And there's subs here. They're going to do pretty well if they don't get torped. And now we have Zooies on the left side as well. Oh, many Zooies on the right side. And we still have a lot of Destros, but look, there's only, we lost all the T1 factories, and all that ThomasHiatt is making is Destros, and it looks like he's just lost air quite convincingly. The Swiftwind's not enough to beat this cloud of interceptors. Zooies putting out huge damage on these Destros. Look at them go down. Huge amounts of damage. And the Destros just cannot stop the Zooies. They have no weapon against them. They can't torpedo them. The large weapon obviously has a very slow rate of fire. Not very much AoE. And the Zooies are just the perfect unit. The perfect unit for what ThomasHiatt has, which is, well, people will know that Yudi is a sentence player, a very good one of the best. And well, if anyone knows how to beat Aeon destroyers, well, I think a lot of people do, but certainly Yudi does. And oh, we have the ASF out, so this T3 Air so far has done no damage, and we need something to deal with the Zooies. So if he doesn't want to make frigates, which seems like he doesn't, then we need some air control and gunships. Even T1 bombers are decent. Oh, look at this Zooie getting onto the island. It has 4 kills. It has 9 kills. It has full vet. Did it kill did it do that much damage to a destroyer perhaps? Or holy crap. Look at this. There's nothing this composition can do versus Zooies. I mean, he has a couple submarines and some destroyers, and the Zooies are just going to kill everything. He can't, like, he just has the wrong units. Yudi has the right unit. This looks so bad for Thomas. How many Zooies do we have? 70 Zooies. And T3 Air coming for Yudi as well. Oh, well, this was a very even game until I think Thomas went for the T3 Air, and then he lost his air fight. Now, if he didn't lose air right then, I think he could do some damage with air. He could make a strat bomber, kill a lot of T2 mexes. He could make gunships for the Zooies. He could certainly have made frigs instead of only Destros. That's also true. But yeah, without doing damage on the air, he just is not. He's not in this game anymore. Oh no, Yudi made such a correct decision just to go into those Zooies. He hadn't had any before that, and now look at that. He can actually just run past the destroyers and kill the islands. Oh my god, yeah, this is done. And even the destroyers getting in on the action, killing economy. The expansions are dead, and actually, now that I think of it, somebody asked for games where Seraphim does well without using Phobos. Well, unfortunately, I could not could not give you that in this game. The Phobos were a great decision. RIP Aeon Navy. Yeah, T3 Air. I guess that decision to control K the T1 factories and get T3 Air was the crucial mistake. Unfortunately for Thomas, maybe it was just a bit too soon for the T3 Air. And really, Yudi had a very impressive T1 Air Force, so yeah, and then of course, yeah, the naval composition was just not ideal. Not ideal. I mean, Aeon doesn't have the best frigate, but that doesn't mean you can just not make frigates. It's still a frigate. They're very good units. So, GG, well played to Yudi, winning with the Navy. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Send me replays if you find some tasty ones. And I'll see you next time.